Travel along, Catholic pilgrims, for 1 year as we read through St. Faustina's diary. Join me, Amy Thomas, each day for a short reading out of the diary which brought us a deeper understanding of Christ's divine mercy. Well, hello there, Catholic pilgrims. Welcome to day 53 of our readings from St. Faustina's diary. Have you ever had someone in your life that just absolutely vexes you and drives you insane? No? I've had plenty, and I'm sure I'm that person to plenty of people. So today we have some shorter readings, but Sister Faustina at the very end of them is going to share with us some trouble she's going through with one of the other sisters who is just vexing her, and she's trying to offer that up as a silent martyrdom. So we're going to talk about that. And so our readings today are from Notebook 1, 180 through 182. During Advent, a great yearning for God arose in my soul. My spirit rushed toward God with all its might. During that time, the Lord gave me much light to know his attributes. The first attribute which the Lord gave me to know is his holiness. His holiness is so great that all the powers and virtues tremble before him. The pure spirits veil their faces and lose themselves in unending adoration. And with one single word, they express the highest form of adoration, that is, holy. The holiness of God is poured out upon the Church of God and upon every living soul in it, but not in the same degree. There are souls who are completely penetrated by God, and there are those who are barely alive. The second kind of knowledge which the Lord granted me concerns his justice. His justice is so great and penetrating that it reaches deep into the heart of things, and all things stand before him in naked truth, and nothing can withstand him. The third attribute is love and mercy, and I understood that the greatest attribute is love and mercy. It unites the creature with the Creator. This immense love and abyss of mercy are made known in the incarnation of the Word and in the redemption of humanity, and it is here that I saw this as the greatest of all God's attributes. Today I was cleaning the room of one of the sisters. Although I was trying to clean it with utmost care, she kept following me all the time and saying, "You've left a speck of dust here and a spot on the floor there." At each of her remarks, I did each place over a dozen times, just to satisfy her. It is not work that makes me tired, but all this talking and excessive demands. My whole day's martyrdom was not enough for her, so she went to the directress and complained, "Mother, who is this careless sister who doesn't know how to work quickly?" The next day, I went again to do the same job without trying to explain myself. When she started driving me, I thought, Jesus, one can be a silent martyr. It is not the work that wears you out, but this kind of martyrdom. I learned that certain people have a special gift for vexing others. They try you as best they can. The poor soul that falls into their hands can do nothing right. Her best efforts are maliciously criticized. Man, I can fully appreciate how Sister Faustina describes this relationship she has with this other sister. And when she says she started driving me, I tell my kids all the time when they're, pushing me too far, I'm like, you are driving me to the hilt of Genelt. My dad always used to say that to me. I have no idea what it means, but it just means you're driving me crazy. So when I read that through the first time, I was like, I had to laugh because I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of a line I use when she started driving me nuts. But I think we all have had people in our lives that just vex us, that when we come up against them, it's just, we hit a wall. And I think she is most correct in saying that certain people have a special gift for vexing others. But I would also say that certain people might vex you, but not other people. Because for whatever reason, their personality and your personality just don't jive. So this made me think of a person that I used to work with that just vexed me to death. So when I started working at the Salvation Army Domestic Violence and Rape Crisis Program, I was brought in as the program director for the rape crisis part of it. But I was also the outreach coordinator. So I worked in the outreach office and was kind of in charge of that. And the reason I was in charge of it is because I was one of the only people there besides our head boss who had a degree. And there was one lady there who was quite older than me, and she didn't have any degrees. And I'm not saying that in any way I was better than her, but this was just a point of contention for us. So that's why I share that. And she had been working there for a very long time. And when I first started working there, I brought in all my stuff because I wanted to decorate my office and, make it my own. And so I was bringing in pictures of my family and things from the colleges that I had attended. And I brought in my diplomas, which are framed, and I put them on the wall and some other things around the room to make it my space. Well, one day, this person that I worked with walked in and she looked at my diplomas hanging on the wall and she just gave me this snippy remark and was like, "Oh, it must be nice that some of us have diplomas to hang on our wall." And then she walked out of my office. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to ignore that. But continually, every day, she would come in and she would make either some comment about my age, because at that time I was in my late 20s, or she'd make some comment about my diplomas or how it must be so nice to be educated. And she would always try to put me in my place a little bit, which when I first started working there, I had so much to learn. I didn't mind at all, her teaching me, and she did teach me quite a bit. She had a lot of knowledge and I learned a lot from her. But it was always done in a way of, patting me on the head and telling me I just don't really know anything. And it just drove me crazy. I wasn't putting the diplomas on the wall because I was trying to, put it up in anybody's face. I just put them up because I thought maybe the clients that came to me for counseling would be more reassured by seeing that I had degrees. And, it's just kind of one of those things you do. It could have been a pride thing on my part, but either way, it was a source of contention for us. And so nearly the entire time I worked there for 3 years, there was always these remarks. And when I first started working there, I just wanted to sometimes lay into her. I mean, Sister Faustina, I am obviously in many ways not a saint because she holds her tongue at the sister, being a pain. "Oh, you missed a spot over here. Oh, you missed a spot over there." I would have been mouthing off. She didn't, so God bless her. I just am amazed by her strength to keep her mouth shut and to just, like she says, bear it as a silent martyrdom. But anyway, I started to realize that the reason why this person would always mention either my degrees or my age or my family, and she'd always make snide remarks about it, is because, for one, she felt kind of threatened by me. And for two, they were things that she wished she had. And she didn't know how to say that without, I guess, making herself feel like she was less than me. And I never tried to make her feel that way. And maybe just me being there did that. But she didn't really have her family anymore. And, I had all these pictures up of my family. And she had not gone to college. And maybe it was something that she wanted to do. And, she was getting older and I was this young thing coming in, already the outreach director where she had been there for years. And I realized there's nothing I can say to her that's going to change her mind about me. And I don't want to spend all my time here fighting with her. And I never did fight with her. It just really got under my skin. And so I wasn't always super nice to her. I wasn't mean, but I wasn't like, "Hey, best of coworkers, let's chum around together." But I realized that she was coming from a place of hurt. And, for whatever reason, my presence there either brought up hurt, maybe dreams that she wished she had fulfilled or something like that. But she was wanting to kind of make me hurt because she was hurt. And once I recognized that about her, my irritation with her went away. And when she would come into my office and make some remark, it wouldn't get under my skin any longer. It just kind of washed off my back. And I found I was able to love her better. And so I would just talk to her more, like when we had lunch break, and if she happened to be eating lunch at the same time as me. When I first started working there, I didn't want to talk to her at all because I was afraid she'd make some rude comment. But as time went on, I just started talking to her and listening about her life and asking questions about her to show her that I cared about her life too, and that her life mattered and that her knowledge mattered. And I started going to her if I had a question about how something was done. I started going to her for answers, to just kind of give her a chance to let her knowledge shine. And by the time that we were done, or that I was done working there because we had to move, our relationship was way better. And it was more kind of like a grandmother granddaughter type of relationship. Not super close, but it was more like that. She was less grumpy and irritable towards me, and she got under my skin way less. And so it just helped. It helped to recognize maybe where her hurt was coming from. Now, and today in Sister Faustina's readings, I don't know where this other sister's hurt is coming from. Maybe she's a little threatened by Sister Faustina's holiness, and so she kind of wants to put her in her place. But I think we all have these kind of people in our lives. And two of the best things we can do is try to maybe understand why they would be treating us in such a way. And sometimes you can even ask them. Or to see Christ in them. This may be a person that's coming that needs your love, and you have to see Christ in them and love them through this vexing and this, irritation. Anyway, so that is all for today, Catholic Pilgrims. I will see you back here for day 54. Love those vexing people in your life. Pray for them. They need our prayers too. But until then, Catholic Pilgrims, live the faith boldly and travel well.